welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, live hospitality talk show. Today is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021, of course, and it's 1 o'clock, right? 1 o'clock PST, and I'm right on time today. I said the time because I'm right on time. Normally, I'm like 1:05, something like that. But actually, I'm on time today. So I couldn't wait to get on air, right? I was going to go early, but I said, no, people are waiting for me to come on at 1 o'clock. So I have to wait till 1 o'clock. So I did. So hope all is well. Thank you guys for joining today. A couple of days before Thanksgiving, I want to wish everyone before we even get started, happy Thanksgiving, and hope things go well. And I know people are traveling and things like that, so be safe. Just be safe and don't eat a lot. Okay, so then again, yeah, eat a lot. I mean, if that's what you do, if that's what you normally do around Thanksgiving, I don't want to deprive you of anything. So just go ahead and just make a pig of yourself, okay? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about being thankful and making a pig of yourself. So there you go. You can already tell it's gonna be one of those shows, man. But today we're live on LinkedIn, of course, and then at the same time we're doing a podcast, so that becomes available on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Overcast, and Apple Podcasts, or just wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. So, and I want to make sure everybody knows that this is an interactive show. So, I mean, feel free to. Hold on one second. I just heard something and I didn't want it. So this show is interactive. Okay, so if you have questions, you want to make comments, just want to say, hey, at the worst, you're going to get a shout out. Okay, so who doesn't want to get a shout out, talk about you, mention your brand, mention whatever. Okay, so already, Lonnie Wolf. Okay, so quick shout out to Lonnie Wolf. Afternoon, Russell from sunny Florida. Yeah, I appreciate that. And he said, I will hang until I go into a meeting. So, Lonnie has been with us for about, I guess, almost a month now. He chimes in and he makes some great points and great comments. And if, like I said, at the very minimum, he says hello, and, meaning he can hear me, and that's good, right? So I do appreciate Lonnie for coming on and just let me know that he's, visiting, or not visiting, but he's on with us from sunny Florida, and he's going to stay with us until he has a meeting. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, Lonnie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see, where was I? Hashtag. Oh, wait a minute. No, I got a storyboard here, and I keep forgetting it. It's show number 135. Okay, and we're all about the hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, which means we talk about everything hospitality. We talk about hotel, we talk about restaurants, we talk about training, lack of training in certain things, lack of, people wanting to work, or lack of, you're unable to find great employees. I mean, we talk about a little bit of everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And believe me, as much as we want to think hospitality is just, it's all about hospitality. Now, there's always some crap they can jump off at any time. So, but we always make it fun, right? So we can laugh about these things and move forward. So, but we do talk about a little bit of everything. So that's why I always end every posting with hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, which just means we talk about everything within that hospitality scope. Okay, nothing's off limits. but we don't go around dogging people out either. Okay, at least I don't. Okay, I'm sure other people do, but that's not me. You guys know me, right? Or maybe you don't. I don't know. So, anyway, and then of course when I'm on my live show, and somebody always wants to call me, so I have to delete. Okay, so I did say it was show number 135, marketing disruptor of the status quo. This show is being a marketing disruptor. It's something that I hadn't done before. You just get out there and do what's well, it wasn't comfortable at first when I first started, right? So it was something against the grain, something against everything I've ever done. But when you're trying to grow your brand and grow what you do, sometimes you got to just take a leap out there and make stuff happen. So this was like I said, being a marketing disruptor, having this show, because like I said, it went against anything that I'd done in the past. So and a lot of times people are toying with that same thing. Should I do this? Should I do that? Well, if it's going to enhance your brand, I would say go ahead and do it. And there's no time like the present to jump in and do it. But I always give this advice. If you have any questions about anything about doing like a live show like this or a podcast, or if you're on Instagram, you want to do live whatever. I mean, just jump out there and do them. I do those as well. So have any questions on how to get started, just let me know. We are the Dr. Phils in the world of in hospitality. Okay, Lonnie. That's Lonnie said that. Okay, he said we are the Dr. Phils in the world of hospitality. Okay, I'll take it. I'm here for it, Lonnie. So thank you, thank you very much for putting a label on it. Okay, so yeah, so industry news. Let me just jump into this industry news. Panic buttons. What the heck is a panic button? You know what? I look at right before the show. I was looking at. I said, what am I going to mention for industry news today? So I type in, hotel industry news, and I came up with this thing as this article, and I can't remember the publication, but it had to do with panic buttons. It said top panic buttons top list for protecting employees from growing violence over COVID policies. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, so I mean, I understand. Let's keep our employees safe. I mean, don't. And that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, that's a good thing. We're supposed to keep our employees safe, but we're keeping them safe from people that are going off. And this is not just in housekeeping, Lonnie. This is primarily at the front desk. Is what I was reading and saw. People are going off on people at the front desk. So the employees have to call, for backup, basically, because people are just reading them the riot act. They're going off on them because the hotel has policy over. I don't know if it's wearing a mask or don't wear a mask, but there's certain protocols at certain places, not just hotels, but certain businesses have. And employees have been told to do this, right? So don't go off on the employees. The employees are just doing their jobs, right? Now I know in housekeeping they have gone to these portable panic buttons because, and yeah, panic buttons are the law in housekeeping in Florida. I'm not sure if they're the law here, but it's definitely something that they need to do, and a lot of hotels have. I think it's what it was. It was a brand standard. I think they're brand standards from certain brands that they're making sure that they have these panic buttons, because a lot of times the girls, the housekeeping ladies, are in the rooms by themselves, and sometimes they get cornered in those rooms. I mean, I've heard stories. Thank God it didn't happen when I was a housekeeping manager or any of the hotels I was in, but it's always something that's going on, that we don't know about or that the public doesn't know about. So if there's a policy that came out that they had to have by a certain time, you had to have panic buttons or some type of way to communicate. And the panic buttons are one way. You push the button and it goes off. I guess maybe in an office and then people are supposed to run too. So it's not like a two-way radio, right? So because a lot of times, because I'm sure somebody's saying, well, why don't they just call you on your cell phones? Well, there's a lot of hotels have policies that you cannot have cell phones on the floors, or if you do, you're not supposed to be using them because it's taken away from your work, right? So, do I agree? It's not about me agreeing on it. It's just I'm reporting, what the heck is going on. But that just made me, when I saw that, I was like, and it said more than ever before, workers find themselves at risk of threats and assaults as businesses work to implement and maintain policies. So it just made me think. I'm like, that's just crazy that people don't. They come to hotels and they think they can just do whatever they want to do, talk to people how they want to do, intimidate people and things like that. I mean, I think that's crazy. I always say people need to pack their patience when they're traveling. No one needs to, regardless of what you think, what your ideology is about, COVID and all that stuff. What is violence going to do? I mean, is that always the key? No, that's not the key to getting things your way, right? So follow the friggin' rules, okay? And that's it. If you don't want to follow rules, then don't go. Stay home. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay home. So I mean, I just said, you can just tell I'm a little, got me riled up here. I mean, thinking about that stuff. But pack your patience when you come, when you travel, when you're on an airline. There's always going to be some clown that's on there that's going to defy the rules, okay? But that doesn't mean you have to be that clown, okay? Just sit back and just, let the people handle it, the employees or the professionals handle it, okay? But we don't need to go to hotels. We don't need to be on planes. We don't need to go to any establishments and show our tails, okay, so to speak. So show our donkeys, okay? I'm keeping stuff clean because Russell of Hotels is all about keeping stuff clean. But you know what I'm talking about, okay? So anyway, that got me kind of riled up when I read that. I was like, what the heck? Is it like that? Is it that serious? So remember I said the good, the bad, the ugly? This is some ugly. It has nothing to do with hotel people. It has to do with people coming, supposedly guests coming in acting crazy. So, but anyway. Whew. So okay, that's it for that. So okay, in next industry news. Oh, did you guys see this? First of all, I want to do a quick thank you to Miss JT Long, who is the editorial director of Smart Meetings. Okay, did you guys know that Smart Meetings is 100% ran by women? I think that's a great thing, right? So yeah, so JT is the editorial director, and so she several weeks ago, I got an email from her and said she wanted me to be part of this Southern California in HD or high definition. It's basically talking about your go-to places for meetings or where you would go to celebrate or hang out or whatever. So check out this article or just check out this. First of all, check out Smart Meetings publication. Go smartmeetings.com and check this one out. So the title is Southern California in HD or high definition, or I think that's what that stands for. But check that out because I'm featured in there along with some other people, meeting professionals or hospitality professionals like Darren Green from LA Tourism is in there. Cheryl Rogers, which we all know, and she's a meeting planner. She's on there. Seppi, and I can't pronounce Seppi's last name, so I'm not going to even try. So Seppi's in there as well. So there's quite a few. There's a few people in there that are either meeting planners or hospitality professionals that they talk about what it would be their go-to places. Like I think one question JT asked was for a team building or team meeting, where would you go? And I mentioned, God, I can't even think of it now, huh? It's in Hollywood Hills, Sunset Ranch, which is horseback riding, right? So get people on horseback and do some team building, and they serve you lunch, and it's the closest. I think it's the closest that you can get to that Hollywood sign, without having to walk up there yourself. Okay, the horses actually go right under that Hollywood sign, which is the most iconic sign in the world, right? One of the most ones. So I think it's a great. Well, hopefully it's not too hot when you do it, but it's in the Hollywood Hills. Beautiful. Normally, like I said, unless it's too hot. Like if you did it right now, well, shoot, it's hot now. But if you did it like around maybe between now and Christmas, it'd be a little cooler. But it was spectacular, and I enjoyed it. So that was one of my go-to places for like team building and things like that. So, And then Stacey Edmond, my brother, says, just act right. Yeah, he's referring to the people when they go to hotels and things like that. Yeah, just act right. You don't have to show your donkey every time you go out. Okay, that's it. Just act right. So anyway, but yeah, Sunset Ranch. If you're ever in LA, you want to get close to Hollywood sign, you want to do some horseback riding in a beautiful area of LA. It overlook and it's funny, not funny, but it's next to or adjacent to um the gosh the Griffith Park Observatory. So you can see that as well as you're riding your horse. It's like, wow, that's the Griffith Park Observatory. So it's one of those things that you got to do. Okay, I think they show that on La La Land. Did you guys know La La Land was one of my favorite movies? I was having a conversation with this is a side thing. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. And they said, okay, a friend of mine. We went to a football game. Okay, his son plays for Cerritos College. Okay, so we went to this football game. His wife went as well, right? And then she says, "Hey, I hear that La La Land is one of your favorite movies." Obviously, her husband told her, right? Because I told him. And I said, "Yeah, it is." And she said she didn't like the movie. But I said, it's all about L.A. If you never saw La La Land, it's about L.A. and it talks about different, or they highlight different areas of L.A. It's a whole nother story to it. But during this whole story, they mention a lot of places to go or to see in LA, or they don't mention, but some of the scenes are something like Griffith Park Observatory. You can see the Hollywood Hills. You can see certain things in LA, downtown LA, that people don't even know even exist. Okay, the beach and all that kind of, the pier, Santa Monica Pier, a couple of jazz places. So I just thought it just depicted LA as La La Land. That's what it is, right? People trying to be actors. One person wanted to be a jazz musician, own his own jazz club or whatever. So it was a love story. It's a rom com. Okay, if you want to, it's a rom com. All right, so just check it out. But I don't even know why I got into that. But anyway, JT, thank you so much for asking me to do this. I think this was great, and then this is the thing. These editors, right? Okay, no shade on you, JT, but I have to say this. She sends me this email and said, "Oh, by the way, it's due like tomorrow." I'm like, how am I gonna get this done tomorrow? But it's amazing what we'll do when we want, when we want to appear in something, we'll make it happen, right? So yeah, she gave me like a day and a half turnaround time, and I made it happen. So, but I was just being funny, JT. So, but no, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be in the article, right? So there you go. So you guys check it out, okay? So thank you. Next, shout out and congrats to Mr. Amani Roberts. Now, Amani's a good friend of mine, right? Amani actually got me started in social media. As heavily involved in social media that I'm in, currently. Amani's the one that kind of showed me the ropes. Okay, I knew what social media was, but he kind of explained things and how to do this, how to do that, which platforms to be on, and all that stuff. So Amani was very instrumental in that stuff. So he has a second book out. Okay, a second edition of his book. His book is called DJs Mean Business. So so it's the second edition. The first one came out maybe 2 years ago, Amani, I think. Yeah, 2 years ago, and then now he has the second edition of his book. So I want to make sure I give a shout out to him, and he's agreed to come on the show in a couple of weeks. I want to say it's going to be December 21st, and we're going to talk about the book, talk about what he does. He's a professor too. He's a hospitality professor. He's a book author. Of course, he's a DJ. Goes by the name of DJ Amro, and his company is called the Amani Experience. And he's also the president of Meeting Professionals International, Southern California chapter. I mean, this dude, there's a list just goes on and on. Did I mention he's a professor? Yeah, he teaches at Cal State Fullerton in Southern California. So Amani's like, he's doing the most, okay? And he also has a show on Twitch where they do like the dating game or something. I never watched it because I ain't looking for no date, but that was a joke, Amani. I should watch it just to see what it's about. Then I can make a proper comment about it. But yeah, so check out Twitch, the dating game. Amani Roberts, he's the host of the show there, and Amani does whatever he does. He does great. And I'll give you a quick Amani story. Back in the day, well, this is not back in the day, but maybe several years ago, I was a general manager at the Sportsman Lodge Hotel. So I wanted to start this because we had one of the largest pools, I think the largest pool in LA County. So that was a focal point for the hotel. And in the summer, of course, you get people there, trying to get in for free. We started charging people. But anyway, we had a DJ. We started toying with the idea like, hey, we should do like a day party kind of thing, right? Get a DJ out here, whatever. Well, guess who the first person I thought about? It was Amani Roberts, DJ Amro. So he came and he did it, and he actually has a couple of partners that he works with too. DJ Flossie, who's a young lady, they came in and they did it. They did the most. So I'm kind of indebted to Amani for helping me out for that. So any DJ stuff, I always call Amani first, and then if he's too expensive, I go somewhere else. No, I'm joking. But no, Amani's a good guy, a good dude, very knowledgeable about everything in the industry. Used to be a director of sales and marketing, just like myself, and a general manager, just like myself. So kind of have some things in common. Met him years ago, right? So I've known that dude probably a good 20 or so years, I would say. So, but anyway, so thank you so much, Amani, and we'll look forward to having you on the show on the 21st of December. Oh, and that's his book. Okay, see, I'm sorry, I forgot that I put his book there. So, DJ Means Business: One Night Behind the Turntables Can Spin Your Company's Success by Amani Roberts, second edition. Okay, so check out his book. It is available on Amazon. I know that. So check Amani Roberts out. Boom. Increase social media engagement. How do you do that, and why should you do that? And I put here, it says create more so you can get more. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, the more social media presence that you create, the more likely you're going to get some business, right? But don't get it twisted. Just because you post something one or two times doesn't mean that automatically equates to business. It's called branding, okay? It's called getting your name out there. But if you never get your name out there, people are not going to know about you, and they're never going to spend any money at your establishment. So you want to make sure you have a presence. I've been sending out social things on social media about having a presence on social media. Putting things out there, your hotel, your restaurant, whatever it is. You post as often as you can. And I also put, because don't expect anything if you don't do anything. Okay, so that's where that create more so you can get more comes from. And then repurpose content. What does that mean? Do people know what that means? The repurpose content. You know how you take all these pictures and you keep them on everyone has an iPhone or whatever, a Droid, and you keep these photos and all this stuff. Use those same photos. You don't have to keep trying to figure out what the heck to do with, well, how am I going to post? What am I going to post? I post things from 3 years ago, right? So I had pictures on my phone and maybe even the same posting. What I do is I'll change the narrative or the words or whatever. I'll change that. The scripture. Oh, well, not scripture. I'll change the script, that kind of thing. But it's the same. It can be the same video. I'll just change the words around. Like say, it used to be just a hotel, looking at this particular hotel, add a couple more pictures to it, and then change the wording and say, you got a choice to stay wherever, but make sure you book direct. I mean, just things like that. I mean, you just got to be creative about the things that you already put out, right? So it's not like you have to, I got to take some more pictures. No, I got, 2,000 pictures on here that I can probably post things for another year, not to take another picture. But that's what I chose to do. I don't choose to do that. But what I'm saying is people always have an excuse for not sending things out or putting things out on their social media pages when you can just easily just repurpose your content. Okay, so that's what that means. Repurpose the stuff you've already used before in the past. Just go back and look. I have on YouTube probably over close to 300 videos that I put out. So I just go back in there. I can cut them up, slice them up, splice them here, put two together, that kind of thing. And then, it takes all of 15, 20 minutes to do. And then next thing you know, it's already posted. So it doesn't take a long time to do that. But, if you have any questions, just ask me. I mean, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help. So just ask. Let's see. Where am I? Who's hiring? Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills. They're looking for a director of sales and marketing. Beverly Hilton. They're looking for and Beverly Hilton is in Beverly Hills as well. And that's it. They're looking for a director of sales and marketing as well. UCLA Hospitality Sales and Marketing Director. Well, that's what they're looking for. It's UCLA. They're looking for a hospitality sales and marketing director. Now that's a huge position because they have access. Their budget is like, what did I read? $17 million or something like that, and they do about $70-80 million in revenue. So that's a entity in itself, right? So they do a lot over there. They're doing the most at UCLA. So if you are interested in that position, you better pack your lunch, okay? Because that's a position that's going to demand a lot, okay? So there we go. But I think it's a good position. I think you should go for it. So whoever is on the fence, just go for it, all right? And it's up to them to tell you you're not qualified, right? I get these people that call me or whatever. Hey, do you think I should apply for this job? Like, what is it? Okay, they'll tell me, give me the rundown. I say, yeah. Well, I don't have this. Wait a minute. That's up to them, the employer, to tell you don't have what it takes. They may see something on your resume that you never even thought about, and they're thinking about it. They may get you, because the key is to get the interview, and once you get the interview, you just show your side that positive energy or whatever. So the key is to get the interview. Okay, send out your resume. Redo it, make sure the resume is tight. But don't discount. Don't already give up before you even apply for the job. Do you think I could get it? We don't know. I don't know who the people are doing the interview, but I know that if you don't, I know you'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? I know that for a fact. Everyone knows that, right? So just try it, send it in. It's up to them to say, no, we're not interested in you, okay? And they're quick to do that, right? So, but no, if you see something that you're pretty qualified, you think you're pretty qualified for, or you may just have something that a little bit of something that they don't have, or that they're looking for, and you may not have it, just do it anyway, and you never know what's going to happen. Okay, because like I said, the key is to get the interview, and then once you get the interview, then you can just be yourself, right? So there you go. Because no one can do that. You can't fake the funk, okay, on yourself, right? Bet on yourself, okay. All else fails, bet on you. And I would say 9 out of 10 times you'll be right. You'll be successful. Okay, so there you go. Hilton LAX. They're looking for an assistant front office director. The Highgate hotels. Now, I think there's 2 Highgate hotels that I think I know. One is in Long Beach. I think that's the Westin, and then the Hotel Figueroa are both managed by Highgate. I could be wrong. I don't know, but normally I'm pretty right on this. So they're looking for a sales and catering coordinator. And then the Hampton Inn Hollywood, I know that property very well. So on Highland, they're looking for a general manager. So that's right down the street. It's between Hollywood and Highland, or it's between Hollywood Boulevard, and the Hollywood Bowl. So you get that Hollywood Bowl traffic. You get that hotel. That's probably one of the busiest Hampton Inns, I would say, in LA County, Southern California, okay, because it's, like I said, it's right there by the Hollywood Bowl, which is, when it's in season, when the bowl's in season, the rates are off the chart. They charge like, Hampton Inn, they charge like $50 for parking. Okay, just what do you think the rates are over there? Okay, they're charging like $50 for parking. And you don't have an option, right? Because, you have an option to take an Uber in there. That's what I would suggest, because they only have valet parking there. Okay, so it's not like they had a bunch of, public spaces to park around there. No, you're kind of limited to where you can park. But Nice property. They renovated not too long ago. I love that property. So Hampton Inn Hollywood looking for a GM. Non-meat eats. I always, mention for people that don't know, I don't eat meat. I have vegan ways. Okay, my diet is vegan, but my lifestyle is not. There you go. So the other day, Sunday, a friend of mine comes by. He wants me to see something in Hollywood, and so we go to Hollywood, and then I remember he's a vegan too, right? He has vegan ways too, and he mentions, do you want to get something to eat? And I said, hey, there's this vegan exchange thing that I've been wanting to go to, which is in North Hollywood or NoHo. Okay, so we went over there, and it's like a block long maybe, and they have probably, I'm gonna say, between 12, 15 different vendors. Okay, I mean, you go from burritos to burgers, hot dogs, donuts. What else? But they're all vegan. It's all vegan. So you get dessert, you can get appetizers, whatever. I think they had like barbecue. I don't remember what it's like. Something that's supposed to be chicken, but it was barbecue. They had macaroni and cheese. I mean, they had so much stuff. It was crazy. And like I said, I've been seeing this because I follow them on Instagram. And it's like I said, it's called Vegan Exchange LA. So just at Vegan Exchange LA on Instagram, and you'll find it. They're there every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'll give you the address. It's 5300 Bachman Avenue. That's Bakman in the city of NoHo. That's North Hollywood. But yeah, so I got this. It was like a carne asada burrito, and when I say that it was good, it was good. Okay, so, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not saying things just to be saying it. No, the stuff was good. And I told the dude, I said, I'll be back. I'm gonna go through your menu. Okay, so he had like maybe 5 or 6 things on his menu. I'm going back and I'm gonna go through that menu. And then there's like I said, a barbecue place that they serve macaroni and cheese, and there's burger places. Anyway, I mean, they even have vegan ice cream. Okay, they have vegan ice cream. They had all that stuff. So Vegan Exchange LA. Check it out. Okay. There you go. Okay. You're such a wealth of information. Thank you, Miss Cheryl Rogers. Did you get the point? Did you hear that I mentioned you in being in smart meetings as well? Did you hear that part? Since you want to chime in now. What is my thing, or what do I do? People always say, well, what? Okay, I know this guy has this radio thing that he does, or this hospitality show, but what does he do? What's his thing? Okay, what is his thing? And I just say this: in a noisy digital space, I keep your brand noticed, and I just walk away. Do you think someone, if I mentioned that they would just say, "Oh, okay, oh yeah, you do that," and then just keep going? No, they're going to ask you, "What does that mean?" And that's what you want. It's about engagement. Just like on social media, you post things. You want people to engage. You don't want people to just, "Oh, okay," and keep going. You want people to make a comment, right? And I always say, this is my elevator pitch or speech or whatever the heck you call it. You get on an elevator and you got 30 seconds before you get to the next floor to kind of tell people what you do. I don't believe in that, okay? Because that's like you're trying to get that out in 30 seconds. I want it where people will ask you questions, where maybe the both of you get off the elevator and you try to explain exactly what you do, right? Because you want people to be engaged, okay? You want people to ask you questions. You don't want just, okay, I do digital marketing. Okay, boom, I'm gone. All right, but if you say, in a noisy digital space, I keep your brand noticed. I mean, yeah, it's basically digital marketing, but that's not how it's masked, okay? I mask it as something else because I want them to ask questions, okay? So that's part of what I do. Did I make sense? Okay, did you guys get that? And then I do hotel site selection, which is companies, organizations, individuals that need assistance with finding a place for their meeting, convention, conference, retreat, whatever. I assist them, with the legwork. Okay, they may not have time to, or they may not even know certain hotels and certain destinations. Okay, so it starts with the destination first, and then we look for the hotels, right? So remember, it's the destination is an important thing, and then the hotels are the byproduct of the destination, okay? Especially if people are coming in. I'm not saying the hotels aren't important, but sometimes we put the cart before the horse. Well, it's the destination first, and then the hotels. That's how I look at it. Okay, so my job is to assist them. Just like a Cheryl Rogers. Let's just say Cheryl Rogers was a meeting planner, and she needed some help with, finding a site selection or a hotel in a certain area maybe she wasn't familiar with. So Cheryl would call me and say, "Hey Russell, I'm going to Boca Raton, Florida. I've never been there before. Do you know anyone?" I got know a couple of hotels there. Okay, can you do this for me? Source it out for me. So my job is to get her information, put it in a request for proposal, send this to the hotels. The hotels send me back a proposal with pricing and all that stuff in there. So I present those to Cheryl, who's this meeting planner, and we go through it. And sometimes she'll ask me, "Okay, well, get some more information on this hotel or that hotel. Is that rate, is that the rate solid? I mean, can we negotiate?" Okay, well, we go back to the table and we negotiate rate. We talk about the language in the contract and things like that. Then present it to Cheryl. She looks it over and says, "Okay, well then I will sign it. We're moving forward with this hotel." Signs it and keeps it moving. So that's basically, in a nutshell, that's basically what hotel site selection is. And then I'm a show host, but not only a hospitality talk show host, but one of the top 25 international hotel podcasts. Okay, so On Air with Russell of Hotels, right there, okay, is in the top 25 of all international hotel podcasts. And that's worldwide. International means, not just in LA, that means around the world. So I'm happy for that. Cheryl says, "How much does all that cost?" Okay, Ms. Rogers. Okay, I see you over there. Okay, Cheryl asked me how much does my services cost. Guess what? My services cost nothing. Cost nothing for my client because the hotel will pay me a commission to bring the business to the hotel. Okay, so let's just say Cheryl had a meeting. Okay, I'm doing all this information. I mean, getting the RFPs and the proposals and all that stuff for Cheryl, and it's not costing her company anything. The hotel will pay me a commission based on the amount of room nights. Okay, so here in the States, it's only room nights only. International meetings, you can get percentage over food and beverage and things like that as well. So, but here in the States, it's only on room revenue only. Okay, but yeah, the hotels do pay a commission. So great question, Cheryl. I appreciate that. Have any other questions? I mean, please feel free to chime in there. Wow, that was a good one. Sponsorship. So I always throw this one out here, what a sponsorship would look like. I do videos for whoever wants the video, whoever wants to be sponsored, right? But just imagine that you were sponsored and you were the Cabrillo Marina, okay, which is in the backdrop, okay, which is where I am, okay. So just imagine that for this whole show, this instead of my name up here, this is your company, or the Cabrillo Marina is up here, and then of course this is Cabrillo Marina. So that's what a sponsorship would look like. But other than that, as far as videos and things I do I talk about content and creating content for hotels or whoever. This video I'm about to show you is something that I've done for another hotel. So bear with me, and what I mean by bear with me is that you guys can see it because you're watching it, but the people on the podcast, you're going to hear music for about a minute or so. So it's the actual video going. And I did this earlier, and I was having some issues with the Rodecaster because my cord stopped working, right? So I had to do Bluetooth. So it may be hopefully it's not as muffled as what I think it's going to be, but bear with me. In about a minute, then I'll come back on. So I'm going to show the video of what I've done for one hotel before in the past. So that's that. That's a video that I did for a hotel, and that was like well over a year ago. Okay, so and thank you, Cheryl, for letting me know that it looks and sound great because like I said, I wasn't sure if the sound because it's going through the Bluetooth. This is the first time I did that. But yeah, so thank you very much. And if you have any questions at all, that's my email address. That's russell@russellofhotels.com. You can always reach me there if you have any questions at all. Cheryl had a question. Can you provide analytics on viewership and listenership? Of course, you can do that, right? So I get that's the thing with doing podcasts or the shows or whatever. You can see almost immediately what you've done, how many people are like this show here, how many people are looking or watching, and then remember the show stays on, right? I mean, it doesn't disappear. So if it's on, I'm on LinkedIn, right? Live on LinkedIn. So this stays on LinkedIn forever. Okay, so who knows that the numbers go up? They keep going up. They can go from, it can be just as many as less as 100 people, or I've had more than 8,000 people watch the videos, right? Initially, like during the live show. So, but you get more bang after they've, been on your show or been on your page for a while, right? So they don't go away. So, and then on the what do you call it? The podcast don't go away either. But it's just not visual. Okay, so it's only audio. But whatever I'm talking about, it'll still be there. So, those are things that I always say that people need to do. I mean, social media is one thing, but hey, come on the show, come talk and brag about your brand, brag about yourself. Let people know what you do. I got a last week reached out. Well, it was her name is and I hope I'm saying this right. Zana, Shana. So she's gonna be on the show in a couple of weeks. She'll be on the show on the 14th. Now she reached out to me on. She was one of the people that was making comments during the show, just like Cheryl and Stacy and my man Lonnie Wolf. They make comments during the show or they make have questions or whatever. So she was one of those people, and she said I would love to be a guest on the show. And I said, hey, send me your. I gave her my email address. I said, send me your information and we can talk. So she sent me her information. She emailed me and we had a quick chat. We'll probably have another chat before the show. And she's going to be on the show on the 14th. So that's as easy as it works, right? So she is, in fact, her, I can't think of what the company name is, but that's okay because at the end of the show, I'm going to tell you because she's gonna be on the show, so I'm gonna announce that at the end of the show. So, but her name is Zana. So yeah, she's gonna be, and she does training. She does hospitality training, which is sorely needed, right? So yeah. So thank you so much, Zana, for reaching out to me. That was great, and that's as easy as it goes, right? That's as easy as it goes. So what's the next thing that I have here? So yeah, russell@russellofhotels.com. That's how you can reach me. Follow me on LinkedIn, IG, YouTube, and Twitter. On LinkedIn, the page is Russell Edmond, Russell L. Edmond, and IG is at what is it? What is it called? Russell Hotels. Okay, so on IG, YouTube, and Twitter is at Russell of Hotels. So that's how you can get a hold of me, or just look at some of the things that I post. Okay, just to know that yeah, Russell does post regularly, sometimes twice a day. I mean, 10 times a week. But you have to do that if you want to be noticed. Just like these knuckleheads on TikTok. I don't say knuckleheads. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that because some of the stuff is fun. A lot of it is fun and funny. So they want to be noticed, right? They don't want you to forget. If I'm dancing, if they're singing, whatever, they got exotic wild cats. You see this? There's people with these exotic cats. I mean, these cats from like, I guess there'd be just a house cat in Africa, but over here they're like, they're territorial, right? They're attacking people. No, they're not attacking people, but they domesticate these cats. Well, anyway, that's some of the stuff that I look at on Instagram or whatever. But people want to be noticed, right? So that's why you do certain things because people want to be noticed. And I ain't no different. Okay, so I do this show because I don't want people to forget about me. I want people to see me and know what Russell of Hotels does or who Russell Edmond is. So those are things that we do. These are four things I always tell people to ask themselves, especially if you're like a marketing person. These are questions you should ask yourself. Boom. Don't you like the way they just rolls out? I love this thing. At Ecamm. I love Ecamm Live. Okay, that's what this is, just in case you didn't know. Number one, what is your brand doing to stay relevant? What are we doing to keep our brand relevant? What are we doing? Are we doing anything? Number two, are you marketing differently or the same as before COVID or BC? Hopefully you're marketing differently because things have changed, right? So we need to be doing things a little different. Number three, how are you connecting with your past or current clients or customers? Or are you even doing that? I mean, hopefully you're doing that as well. And how do they want to be connected with? At least we should have that initial conversation and ask them, okay, do you still prefer phone calls or do you prefer text messages? Or do you want me to slide into your DMs? Whatever it is, right? So whatever works for that client, that's what you do, right? So number four, what has this situation taught you? This whole COVID thing, what has it taught you? Hopefully it didn't teach you to start being a donkey to people, okay? Um, but it's taught me to, one, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and take that time to create or swerve if you need to. Swerve meaning people use that P word to pivot or whatever, but swerve, re-educate yourself, do different things, make yourself better, right? So re-educate yourself so you have a better arsenal. So when you go for that next job or when you come back to that other job, you're better for it. You're better prepared for anything that can happen, right? So that's what it's taught me, and it's also taught me to post more. Okay, taught me to embrace social media more and put more things out there because I want people to know that what I'm doing. I want people to know I'm still here. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Yeah, I didn't even know I knew that song, huh? That's Elton John. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so see things like that, Anyway, but yeah, so that's why I do the things that I do, right? Because I want people to know what I'm doing. I don't want people to forget about me. Um, and I'm not dancing, so I'm on TikTok, but you won't see me dancing, right? But you have to do things that people that will remember. Okay, you got to be consistent enough where people will remember what you do. So there you go. Branding. Ooh, man, I forgot that. I don't know. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I even know some of the words, right? So okay. What is your brand? What are you doing for your brand? You and your brand. The brand is you, and you are the brand. Okay. People buy from you. We always forget this stuff right here as I take a drink of water. And Cheryl tells me to stick to my day job. I don't know what that means. Singing during the day is my job. Okay. But people forget that, people buy from you. Okay. We always get so brand attached or attached to brand. Like the brand is not the one that's taking care of you. Okay. It's Russell who works for that brand that's taking care of you. Okay. He's the one you know. You don't know the brand. I mean, you know what that brand is and hopefully you know what they stand for. But Russell is the person that's taking care of you. So always remember that. Do business with people that you know that you're comfortable with. It has nothing to do with the brand, it has everything to do with the person. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say on that. And let's see. Branding, excuse me, is the process of giving a meaning to a specific organization, company, products, or services by creating and shaping a brand in customers' minds. The objective is to attract and to retain loyal customers and other stakeholders by delivering a product that is always aligned with the brand with what the brand promises. A brand is essentially a promise a company makes to its customers. The purpose of branding and marketing is to establish trust within your consumers and create loyalty. Your brand not only gives your buyers a way to remember you, but it also creates an identity for your business and sets you apart from your customers. Okay. And I always put selling here because people sometimes mix, well, branding is selling, right? No, that's not. There's a time and place for everything. There's a time for branding and there's a time for selling. Selling is a marketing function that involves determining clients' needs and wants and responding through planned, personalized communication that influences purchase decisions and enhance future business opportunities. Okay, so that's that. And then I always ask this question: when is and I'm specifically throwing this out to a marketer, someone that would do marketing. Okay, when is marketing about you? Like, when would it be about me? It'll never be about me, okay? Because it's about the people that I'm trying to entice to use my product or my services, okay? So it's never about me. So I'm trying to reach those people in a way they want me to reach them, in a way they want me to communicate with them, okay? So we always got to think about that. Marketing is never about you. It begins with your audience and what they want. Once you know what your audience wants, connect them with your product or service in a way they want to receive it. Sounds simple, right? We make things so difficult. ROH's, the three P's, that stands for ROH stands for Russell of Hotels. The three P's. Now, there used to be four P's, okay, but 3 weeks ago, I got rid of a P. I said, you know what? I only need three P's. I don't need four P's. Okay, so let me move this right here. See how easy it is? Maybe I should just move over, okay. Three P's: purpose, passion, and perseverance. Purpose. Know why you do what you do. Why does Russell of Hotels do this live hospitality talk show? Because he's trying to reach people. He's trying to help people. He's trying to be a resource. Okay, so I know why I'm doing what I do, and I want people to come on so they can show the world what they do, or what they have a passion for, or how that you can help someone or solve a problem. Because that's what it comes down to. What problem can you solve for someone? Okay, that's how, that whole social media piece comes in there. Social media certain platforms want to know how you can solve a problem. And that's how, some postings get more views than others, because it's posing a problem that you can solve, right? So that's how a lot of that stuff works. At least that's what they look for. Okay, so know why you're doing what you do. Number 2, passion. Either you have it or you don't. If I didn't have a passion for what I'm doing or this show, you would know. You would know from as soon as I started. Like, this dude is going through the motions on here. No, that's not what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. Okay, so I got a passion. Is there a song, Passion? I don't know. Number 3, perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Now, I use swerve because the other P word people use, pivot. Once you're in it, you're pivoting. Like, oh, do I go over here? Do I go there? But when you're swerving, you see it before it comes to you, right? Okay, so I see it in the road, and it's a pothole. Okay, well, am I gonna go over the pothole? No, I'm gonna swerve around it. Okay, and I'm gonna take another route if I need to. Okay, so we have to remember that there's a difference between swerving and pivoting. Okay, pivot, you're already in it. Okay, what do? I'm already in the eye of the hurricane. What am I going to do? Which way am I going to go? There's water coming from everywhere, okay? But if you saw before it was coming, you're like, let me swerve around this hurricane. Let me take I-10. I ain't taking the 60, okay? I ain't taking the 405. I'm taking the 10 because I'm trying to swerve around this obstacle, okay? Did I break it down? Yeah, please, okay? Whew. Anyway. Use time to develop yourself, separate yourself from the pack, learn something new, invest in yourself, and always stay relevant. And then focus on what you can control. That other crap, just let it go. You can't deal with it. I mean, if you can't fix it, then why are you worried about it? So that's about it for the show, right? Unless anyone has any questions, I'm just looking real quick. But I would just want to once again wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And I did before I end the show, I did want to mention Miss Zana Shana Usher. Okay, her company's called Zana Divine Hospitality. So check that out. She's a hospitality expert. She's coming on the show on December 14th. Okay, 1 o'clock PST. And then Mr. Amani Roberts, the Amani Experience. He's a college professor, president of MPI Southern California chapter. He does all kind of other stuff too, but we'll leave it at that. But he's a host of Twitch. That's right, the dating game on Twitch. And then he's going to be on the show on December 21st. So I just want to make sure put that on your calendars because we're going to have some great shows with those two people. Monty's been on the show before. Zana has not been on the show before, but I can just tell she's just a ball of energy, right? So I can't wait to get her on the show and just chop it up. And I mentioned, it's funny, I mentioned to her, I said, I don't give the questions that I'm going to ask you. And she goes, oh, that's fine. I mean, it didn't even faze her that I'm not going to give them questions, right? I ask, they're always going to be in line with what they do, but they don't know how am I going to formulate these questions. They don't know any of that stuff. So basically, this is the first time they heard them coming from me, right? And the only thing I ask is say, if there's a couple of things you want me to mention about your brand or what you do, then I will do that. But I never give anyone the questions. And she just like, oh, okay, great. No big deal. Now, some people, if I told them that, they'd be like, oh, well, I don't want to be on the show then if I don't know the questions. Like, it's about you, right? If you can't answer questions about you, then you don't need to be on this show. Thanks, Russell. Happy Tony Ruiz. What's going on? Hey, okay. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. You guys have a great Thanksgiving, great week. Hey, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show. I keep forgetting. But Cheryl Rogers and I do this other show. It's called What the Hell? That's it. Like, we talk about, what happened during the week, your week or whatever, her week, my week. We invite people on. This is on Instagram. Okay, so it's on IGTV. It's on Fridays at 5 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so it's IG Live. What the hell? Russell and Cheryl. We start off talking about things hospitality, but we venture out to other things. We invite people on to talk, see how their week was. What do they do? And it's just another way that you can talk about yourself, get your brand out there. And we try to make it a lot lighter than this show, okay? If you think I'm over the top here, which I'm not, I'm definitely over the top on that show, okay? So it ain't for everybody. So it's called What the Hell with Russell and Cheryl. Okay, so anyway, that's it. You guys have a great holiday on Friday or Thursday and Friday. You guys take care. The Thanksgiving edition this Friday. Okay, yeah. It's Friday at 5 p.m. Cheryl's telling me as if I didn't know and as if I didn't tell you guys. Okay, so thank you so much, Cheryl, for letting me know. Thank you, Tony Ruiz, for joining in. Thank you, who else? Stacey Edmond, my brother, for joining in. Lonnie Wolf. I appreciate you guys. Really do. I don't take it lightly that people actually will listen and watch and make comments and all that stuff. I do appreciate it. So you guys have a great week. We'll be back next week for show number 136 on air with Russell of Hotels. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me once again at Russell at russellofhotels.com. So until next week or see you on Friday, you guys have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat as much as you want. Okay.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.